Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's the Corner Office Chats with Maureen and Alexis. We're with Goal Set Coach, and we're running a bit late today, right? We had some technical difficulties, we had some stuff going on, and then we thought, you know what, let's just give us a little bit of time, get us resituated, and put it out there for another hour, right? So, and today's topic, we're talking about having the right mindset, stepping into 2021. How do you have that right mindset? When we're closing out the year, for 2020, one of the things that people want to look at is what was their mindset throughout, and what is it that you want to leave behind and then take forward going into 2021. So let's get started on what is mindset and why is it important?
Yeah. I think, mindset, you may have heard this word, you may be familiar with it, you may not be. For us, mindset really is that foundation that you really need to start with before you can really pursue any goal or build anything great. Because if your mindset is not there, we call it the foundation. If you have a crappy foundation, that house or that structure or whatever you're building on top of it eventually is going to come crumbling down. And mindset is simply the way we think, the way we sort of organize our thoughts, the way we audit our thoughts. And oftentimes people just don't do any of that, right? They just kind of take in life as it comes. And that's fine. But typically we find where mindset comes in is when we really struggle, when something happens, when something knocks us off balance. You can tell somebody's mindset by how long it takes them to get back on the horse, how long it takes them to get, to regroup, refocus, and keep moving forward. And this is why I think this mindset is this conversation is so important to have now, being, New Year's Eve. We were just talking before we jumped on here, this is it's a really funny day, and not haha funny, but kind of weird funny for a lot of people, right? It can be a really challenging day. I feel like if it was a couple years ago, I said before we had kids, if you've got young kids, then you're probably in the same boat as I am, where you haven't really had a good night out in a while, but you've got a lot of distractions around you anyways. But New Year's Eve for me used to be like getting dressed up, making the reservations, getting the gang together, and going out and celebrating. And that's not happening for majority of people, I think, this year. And so we've kind of been left to our own thoughts today. And that could have been great. It could have maybe not been so great for some of us. I know in conversations I've just had this morning with girlfriends, it's been tough for a lot of people. And you're kind of thinking back. I love New Year's Eve. I've always done a sort of our year in review reflection for myself. And I was thinking about that this morning. And I was looking back at 2020, and I would just kind of shook my head a little, and then I stopped myself. And this is where my mindset came into play, because the first thing I wanted to do is just be like, 2020 was just a wash. 2020 was just a write-off. And I stopped myself in that thought, because I thought, no, myself, Maureen, you and I, we have done so much in 2020. Goal Set Coach, as it is now, didn't even exist in 2019, right? And we have made so much progress. Myself, in terms of decisions I've made for my career, some decisions we've made as a family have turned out incredible. But because we've kind of had 2020 be such this kind of upside down year, we often go to the things that didn't work, the things that we didn't get to do, or the people we didn't get to see. And so I really had to kind of challenge myself and my mindset this morning to focus on the positive, to focus on the things that did go well, because it was so easy to focus on the things that didn't, or that didn't turn out the way we think. So this is why mindset, and I mean, going into 2021, every year I get so pumped up for New Year's Eve, for New Year's Day. If I'm one of those people, I'm like, new year, new me, this is happening. And so this year, I think that I really am focusing on building my mindset even stronger. And for me, the word is resilience. And that, to me, is how we bounce back from things, how quickly we can pivot, how quickly we can turn. And if there's one thing that I learned about myself, about you, Maureen, about us as a team, is that we have developed that resilience muscle during 2020. And for that, I'm very, very grateful. We've been able to pivot so quickly when things didn't go our way, when things didn't align in what we were hoping. And so for me, mindset, especially today, but every day, is something that I'm constantly working towards strengthening, developing. And that's kind of the I guess the mindset that I'm taking into 2021 is with that underlying word of resilience and reminding myself that we made it through 2021, struggles and all, and there was lots of lessons that we learned, and I'm ready for whatever 2021 has in store.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everything that you said is right on. Mindset is everything. And it's really reflecting like what it has been, what it has been not for you for 2020. And then really setting that intention going into 2021. Right. And I loved what you said about resilience. And that's definitely there for me. I think what I would like to add to that from my end, it's been really about being limitless and creating those, in the times where we felt we were limited in what we can do, but looking and discovering other ways where we can create our life, our lifestyle, the way we're showing up in a limitless matter. Because you may look at it as, well, I can't do this. Really, that's all in your mind. There's so many other avenues, right? We've got technology. Imagine, a century ago when they were going through the Spanish flu, where they didn't have technology to stay connected, right? They had only each other in their family. They didn't have any other options. Everything was shut down. And maybe vaccines didn't come out. I think it was, when I read about it, it was a couple of years. So it's something to think about is, what is it that we have? What is it that we don't have? And having that closure and acknowledging it, whether you have all the feels about it. Like I shared with Alexis, I was having a few feels about a few things that happened for me and in my life, and that's maybe could have impacted other people's lives as well. And it's just being with that feeling, acknowledging that it's there, and then taking that mindset about it, flipping it, pivoting it, and saying, well, what am I going to do about it with it now? And what would that look like for you? For me, it would be like calling all the people that I haven't been in touch with and being totally vulnerable and saying that this is what the year's been for me without you in my life these last few months, right? And let's change that. How can we change that going into next year, right? And asking them, what has the impact been on for them? Sometimes, where a lot of us may be using the excuse of the social distancing or whatever to cut people out of our lives or to not be there for people and not even know what's going on in other people's lives. And is that really you showing up as your best self? So just check yourself for your mindset around that. What has it been? And you can really create whatever it is that you want. You're limitless. If you want to have that reconnection again, you can create that. We try to make it very limited that, well, they're not contacting me, so I'm not going to contact them. No, that's just your limited thoughts, right? That's just a thought that's protecting you or sabotaging you, right? So you get to decide and choose how you want to show up. So think about your mindset as you're closing out the year. Close that book, write it all down, all the things that worked, all the things that didn't work, all the things you want to leave behind. Shut that chapter, create a new page, and who is it that you want to be? What mindset do you want to come into the new year with? How would your best self, if you were to look back and be really proud of how you showed up in those moments that you're proud of from 2020, how can you take that and take it even further, taking it limitless in all areas of your life, whether it's your health, whether it's your wealth, whether it's your career, your business, your relationships, anything that it is in, take a brief look that at the end of 2021, what is it that you have? And write that out. Put it somewhere where you can see it all the time, and then make sure that you're working towards it. And you may pivot around it. You'll be surprised what things may even transpire because you're so focused on creating and being that way, whether it's resilient, limitless, unstoppable, positive, focused, whatever your word is for that year, step into that and start being that now.
Yeah. I was just reading some of the comments that are coming in here, and, somebody had said that when you were talking about the lack of connection this year, and it was easy to blame 2020. I saw a lot of memes. I laughed myself. Like, I'm an extrovert, so I love going out. I'm very much, always have something on the go. But I have to say, I did kind of enjoy, when it was actually taken. I'm like, wow, this is what it feels like to not have something every single night on, whether it's running the kids here or doing something social here or, booking myself into all of these things. But then it kind of did become a little, I used it almost as an excuse, and somebody here had said that stop being scared to just say, I'm sorry I wasn't in touch, for those people that maybe you feel disconnected with. And, we talked a lot about reflecting and going back. And I always say, if you're going to go back and look at what didn't work, which is super important, right? Because you always want to have that growth mindset, that you're not stuck, you're not fixed in your capabilities, in your skills, in your quality of thought. Like, those things aren't fixed. You can grow in those areas. But first you have to identify, right? What are those areas that you were maybe feeling stopped, stuck, or just didn't pan out the way that you wanted it to, and why, right? And if you're going to spend time there, which is absolutely important, then I also want you to spend time on what was awesome this past year. Like, what really, really worked. For me, I have to say that it was having that extra time and actually being really present, specifically with my kids. I have a 3 and a 6-year-old, as I've said many times, and it's easy to just kind of quickly give them my attention and then go about my tasks and go about my day. But this year, because I was at home so often with them for days, weeks, months at a time, but I got really present with, whether it was playing with them or just having that conversation and being able to tune out those distractions. So that's something that I feel I did really well this year. Not all the time, like I had my moments like anybody else, but as a whole, looking back, I feel like I gave my kids more of me, 100% undivided attention. At the beginning of the year, I remember my 6-year-old saying something to me. This was before kind of the pandemic really set in. It was probably in February, and I was kind of half answering him, and he said, "Mommy, can you put down the phone and listen?" And I remember just my heart being ugh, just that or that sucker punch moment. And that was the start of it. And that was before anything happened. And then, a month later, pandemic hit, and I was home, and that comment never left my head. And so I was super, super in tune with that. And I have to say, I think I did that really, really well this year, despite, having all of that time together. I feel more connected with my kids. My youngest, who is 3, he did so much growing over this year, so much developing over this year. And it was actually so fun because, his language really developed and just everything. And I feel like I was so there for that. Whereas when I think back to Jackson, my 6-year-old, when he went through it, I remember snippets, but I feel like some of it was a blur because I was so busy. So I want to carry that into 2021, that sense of presence, not just with my kids, but when I'm having a conversation with my husband, when I'm having a conversation with my girlfriend or my mom or whoever it is. Present has always been one of my words, one of my clarity words. And I feel like I finally connected with it on that level that I'm really happy with. And that's the mindset piece that I want to carry into 2021. Not just because I had all the time on my hands this past year, but because it's something that's important to me. And it's how I would describe myself as being a very present person. Now I have to actually walk the talk. So find out, think about what hasn't worked, but also think about what has. What do you want to keep working towards moving forward?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So being, having that closure with your 2020, let's start fresh for 2021. We do this every year. And, you may have made some goals or some aspirations that you had for 2020 that you weren't able to accomplish. Maybe it was to take that trip, right? Saturday is mine and my husband's 20-year anniversary. And we had made plans that we were going to go do something big, like we were going to travel somewhere. We love to travel. So it was either somewhere exotic, had all these plans, but it's not looking like that way this time around. And that's okay. Am I a little bummed at it? Yeah, I am. But we've got 21 to look forward to. We've got 22 to look forward to. So we will make it work, right? So make those goals again, whatever it is that you want for yourself. Or maybe you want to pivot a little bit. Maybe you want to be, we don't know what's going to be for 2021, what travels are going to look like. For some of you, you are traveling. It's working for you all. For some, you're taking that precaution and staying at home. Whatever it is for you, make a plan and be flexible, be resilient, and be limitless and on the ideas that you can go. Don't limit yourself so much that it has to look a certain way. Don't try not to be so limited to how it needs to look, and be open to explore other ways of enjoying life and enjoying each other and enjoying your health, your wealth, your career, your, business, your relationships, your spirituality, whatever it is that you're working on, take that on, write that out. What is it that you're looking for yourself, for others? Also be acknowledging them. I wanted to bring up, don't forget to acknowledge yourself for all the things that you learned about yourself throughout this, right? Everything that you've gone through, you've grown. If you've come past it, you've grown. If you're still stuck in there, then reach out to a mentor, reach out to a few friends, reach out to somebody that you may be in a relationship with, or you could reach out to us. This is why we've built this community here. You can DM us. We're here to be there to give you support. We're all, and I was telling Alexis, it's like, we're all just being humans. We're all just being humans. We can all be vulnerable. I had my moment of tears today. I know a couple of other people that are in my social circle had their moment of tears, but there were tears of some sadness, some loss, and some gain, So be open with that. Go forth and really look forward for 2021. Make the best of your New Year's Eve, however it is that you're celebrating it. And let's continue this journey together. And our Goal Set Coach, our Goal Set group that we have, our Facebook group, if you enjoy the content that you're receiving here, what we're talking about, you really connect with myself and Alexis. You can follow us on Instagram at Goal Set Coach. You can follow us come join us in our group where we're very active, which is the Facebook group, the Goal Set group. If you're not watching us from there, we have our LinkedIn. And if you want to really take a head start on your mindset, what you really want to do is you want to text mindset to us at 404-737-3299. It's free for 30 days. We're doing a get out of your own way for 30 days, where you will get to see us, Alexis and I, 30 seconds every morning on your phone to get you started with that right mindset each morning for the next 30 days, starting tomorrow. And it's not too late to, get started. Even have your friends join in, because when you do things together, it just creates more space for your mindset to grow. Because what you'll learn as you go through the journey is it's also about who you put in your circle to help you with maintaining the mindset that you want to have, right? So we want to be picky and choosy about that too, right? So invite your friends, get them also on the right mindset, go through the journey together, join us, come join our group, text us mindset at 404-737-3299, and let's do this. Let's take on 2021.
Absolutely. I love it. And I would encourage you guys too is, if you're the goal making types where you put, you make your New Year's resolutions every year, include a mindset resolution, right? I know for many of us, myself included, one resolution is always lose the Christmas weight that we gained. But look beyond just those sort of external things and think of one maybe mindset resolution that you want to challenge yourself for 2021, to get out of your own way and truly become limitless. And we're so excited to have you on this journey with us and us with you. And drop it in the comment what that mindset resolution might be for you. I'd love to see it and cheer you on.
Yeah. One final announcement: starting from the new year, our corner office chats time will be changing. We have moved it now to 1:30 Eastern on Thursdays. So next Thursday, which is January 7th, we will be on at 1:30 Eastern. I know today we were a little late. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. We go with the flow. It's who we are. And just wanted you all to know that, just, if you have it on your alarm, you're setting it on your calendar to join us live, then that'll be 1:30 Eastern starting next week on Thursday. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. We wish you the most prosperous, more blessed year that you ever, and safe and healthy year for all of you.
Absolutely. Happy New Year's, guys.
Happy New Year's.